Good afternoon, Chicagoland, and welcome to another edition of the Green Radio Network. Here on the Green Radio Network, we'll bring you a variety of green topics and the latest information on green technology and transportation. This program features environmental leaders throughout northern Indiana and the entire nation. The Green Radio Network is sponsored by NERPC, the Northwestern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, and the award-winning South Shore Clean Cities. Both entities are leaders in the environmental industry and work together to bring cleaner air and more sustainable living to northern Indiana. Now to introduce Carl Lissick, Executive Director of South Shore Clean Cities and the host of the show.
Well, good morning. This is Carl Lissick. Thank you for that introduction. Today our guest on the Green Radio Network is Mr. David Lain. He's the CEO of David Lain Consulting, and he's also the former Porter County Sheriff. David, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Carl.
Well, David, again, we've seen each other at a couple different events going on across Northwest Indiana here, and I know that you've got an upcoming event here that you're here to promote. It's Emerging Tech Expo on September 16th at Ivy Tech. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to get the word out on this because what I've done since retiring from public service is I've glommed on, so to speak, to a number of new technologies. They're all emerging companies that right now have no footprint in the Midwest whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So through my consulting business, which I came up with that creative name, by the way, I'm trying to introduce people to new emerging technologies that all have the focus on safety and security.
Okay. And so, as we talk about this and this event, so this event that you're going to be hosting on the 16th of September, who would be your audience? Who would be the people that you'd want to attend that?
That's really the great thing about the companies that I'm representing. You may hear me talking about Blue Tech Solutions quite a bit because I'm working through them as a business development consultant. What they did throughout most of 2015 is to vet emerging technology companies throughout the United States, and they chose only the cream of the crop.
I see.
They found the best of the best, the most promising, the most innovative companies that had something to do with safety and security, because they're like they're very socially conscious. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to just sell a product. It has to mean something for communities. And what these companies that Blue Tech chose, they all have something, an innovative solution to safety and security, and we're going to be able to help not only public safety, but education is a huge component that can benefit industry, small business. There are even solutions for security for even individual homeowners.
I see. So what are these technologies?
Well, there are just 5 of them really that Blue Tech chose. And we'll just go through the list.
Okay.
I think you've got you've seen them. But for instance, the first one that we talk about a little bit is 10.8 Tech. Now that is specifically aimed toward public safety agencies. The problem in that industry, as I lived it, was that there's more activity than you've got police officers to respond. Right. And so what 10.8 Tech has done is really given agencies the ability to save up to 20% of their patrol runs for non-emergency calls, which is a tremendous asset because they can save the responses for more emergency type runs.
Okay.
So people can make online reporting available to themselves through phone, laptop, even voice.
Wow.
And it's given to the police department and will be reviewed by personnel through normal means.
I see.
But it will preclude needing to send a police officer to every single non-emergency call. The next one is very cool. It's called Select DNA. And this is actually a synthetic DNA product that can be used to mark valuables. let's say that high dollar watch that you're wearing, that I know that probably had to cost you more than $25. But selected DNA is a marking application for the synthetic DNA. It's virtually invisible in ambient light. Mm-hmm. It only becomes visible under a certain wavelength of ultraviolet light. Then it shines bright blue. So if, for instance, I were to steal your watch, not going to, by the way, but I would be developed as a suspect, of course, and a police officer could see the watch sitting in my car or on my wrist, shine a black light on it, and it would glow bright blue wherever you dabbed the synthetic DNA.
Wow!
And so they could take a sample and send it to a DNA lab, any DNA lab, and it would come back to your unique DNA profile that was assigned by the company. So there are no two alike.
Wow.
So each customer has their own DNA profile. And another cool application is it can mark valuables and protect assets, but in the case of, well, I'm really hoping to talk to a lot of companies and businesses in Chicago because smash and grab robberies,
sure.
Burglaries have been very popular in Chicago, particularly. Synthetic DNA can be incorporated into the alarm system so that if somebody breaks in, it can be sprayed through a spray head and coat the bad guys.
Wow! And
it's virtually indelible. It will stay on the skin once it dries. It'll stay on the skin for months because it doesn't wash off.
I see.
So if a bad guy gets arrested or is a suspect, you shine that same black light on them, and they're going to glow blue, and they can be traced back to the scene of the crime because it's that company's DNA where they had the burglary.
That's just amazing. And, again, I think, David, with your years of law enforcement experience, I mean, this is Jetson type of technology. And again, I mean, how do we as your former life, how do all of our police departments and first responders and emergency responders stay on top of all this technology? And again, I know they're going to do that through folks like yourself, but it just seems like there's just a mountain of activities and not only laws that they have to understand, but some of this new technology is just amazing. It's cool.
Well, technology grows exponentially. I mean, the older we get, we see an acceleration of technology. And the great thing about these Blue Tech Solution represented companies is that they all are serving a public good.
Wow. So you talk about some of these two products that we just kind of went through. So are these being implemented anywhere else in the United States right now?
Well, I know that Selected DNA just signed with the city of Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not sure about the details of that. They actually are a Dutch firm with a footprint in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
They do have an office in Knoxville. But it's new technology, doesn't exist here, and so they have had some successes around the Tennessee area, and certainly Los Angeles was very impressed with what it could do, and they're I believe distributing to citizen groups out there so that they can be protected as far as their assets are concerned.
So you have a couple other technologies you wanted to talk about. What about those?
Yeah, well, Social Sentinel is one that I have been trying to get into our school systems.
Okay.
We've talked to superintendents throughout Porter County specifically, and we're trying to expand that. But Social Sentinel is of any of these, I am absolutely sure that this is going to save lives because this is a direct response to social media threats that every school system and frankly police departments and businesses they are all subject to social media threats. What Social Sentinel does, it will give automatic alerts to whomever the client may be. Let's just stay in education.
Okay.
If a high school subscribes to Social Sentinel will be running in the background 24/7. If there is a threat perceived either to the school system on, for instance, Twitter.
Okay.
Somebody tweets something out about Michigan City High School. That will automatically be sent to whomever the school system designates, whether it's a counselor, whether it's a principal. They can then assess whether it's an actual threat or not. But it hits on key words. And it also is extremely helpful and can protect in cases of self-harm.
Wow.
Cyberbullying.
Sure.
All of these can be caught up by the Social Sentinel platform and immediately sent out to the school system. Or in the case of police department, it may alert them to illegal activities.
Wow. It's Carl Lissick with David Lain from David Lain Consulting. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back right after this message.
There's nothing more important than spending time outdoors with your family. That's why it's so important to do whatever you can to keep our air clean. It's good for the environment and good for the health of your friends and family. Take a closer look at how poor quality is affecting our community. Across the 3 counties of Northwest Indiana, recent studies from the American Lung Association show that 9% of adults suffer from asthma, 4% live with chronic bronchitis, 38% have a form of cardiovascular disease, and 10% of the children in Lake and LaPorte counties struggle with pediatric asthma. Now, the number of adults with asthma is nearly that of adults with diabetes. Consider how diabetics make adjustments to their diet in order to be as healthy as possible. Everyone can make adjustments to improve air quality and the quality of life for those who live with asthma and other lung diseases. Northwest Indiana, clean air, think green, breathe easy. A message from NERPC.
Trying to perfect your backswing? Why not spend a relaxing day on the course while helping out a great cause? At the South Shore Clean Cities 4th Annual Clean Air Golf Outing, you can do just that. South Shore Clean Cities has been helping Indiana go green and reduce energy costs for over a decade. Come and sink a few balls at the Innsbrook Country Club in Maryville, Indiana on Tuesday, September 27th to help raise funds for a local nonprofit. Visit the SouthShoreCleanCities.org event webpage to register today and become part of the solution to pollution.
Well, welcome back to the Green Radio Network here on AM 1420 WIMS Radio. I'm your host, Carl Lissick of South Shore Clean Cities, here to bring you the latest information on green projects and topics across the nation. Our guest today is Mr. David Lain. He's the CEO of David Lain Consulting and the former Porter County Sheriff. David, we're just talking about some really cool things that you're representing here in the area. And so I know you've got a couple other technologies you'd like to talk about. Let's talk about a couple of those.
Well, one that I know you expressed interest in was the next one that we're going to talk about, biotools. Mm-hmm. And this is space age technology that's available today. With the biotool system, any police department can be equipped with something about the size of a handheld radar unit. Okay. It looks pretty much the same configuration. But with this, it's actually a laser, Raman wavelength laser, which I told the inventor that I met that until that day, the only ramen I knew about was the noodle. But it's Raman wavelength, and it's very low power. So for any technology geeks out there, there's no risk of setting off an explosion through laser, because that we won't get into that. Okay. But biotools can chemically analyze the contents of, let's say, a baggie or glass. And the first thing that probably comes to mind for most people is you've got a traffic stop with somebody pulled over and they've got a baggie full of white powder. Mm-hmm. You can use the biotools unit to chemically analyze what that white powder actually is without ever opening the bag. You don't have to field test it. It will tell you without breaking the seal of that container, which is very important. And it works the same in liquid. I know you're very concerned with environmental issues. This can also analyze water, anything in the water, or any liquid as far as that's concerned. So it has, again, wide-ranging use for even, say, a utility company.
No, that's wonderful.
Another company that I talk about is Offsite Vision, and they have a whole suite of products. They can protect assets and I think more importantly, locate people through their ID system that can be tied in wirelessly to any size building. Right. It can be a huge factory, for instance, but it can pinpoint specifically who is in that building and where they are. Now that's helpful for personnel management issues, but particularly if there is an emergency evacuation, you'll know who's left in the building and who has cleared the building safely. So that's very important. Another thing that they produce that I think is very cool is I call it a virtual fence, and it's an infrared beam that let's say you have assets or materials that you need to protect from access. Mm-hmm. Of course, you're going to have a fence, but you can surround the fence with this virtual fence that will, if somebody breaks the beam of the offsite vision virtual fence, it will send an alert. It can activate cameras to focus in on where that breach has taken place. So it's, again, immediate notification, and it's the great thing you'll love. It's solar powered, so it can really protect virtually any size area.
Wow, you just see so many applications for that to move forward. So I know you've got something else at your emergency Z evacuation.
That's what we were talking about with the ID tags. It's actually a computer chip, and that will let whoever is in charge of that emergency situation, whether it's the incident commander out in the fire truck, perhaps, they can actually see the location of all of the, let's say, employees. Sure. To make sure that there's nobody left in that building. You
know, you talked about that. I know we just had, with inclement weather, we were just doing some practices in the building that we're occupied. We were at the Purdue Tech Center, and that was one of the things that they were talking about, when we were having this inclement weather, where to go, the emergency routes, and just fascinating, the way technology is moving forward. So on these programs, we want to encourage a greener, more sustainable future. So not just for Porter County, but for Northern Indiana. So how do you see these programs continuing to move forward and being implemented? And again, I think, a lot of times we always get labeled here in Northwest Indiana as not moving fast enough with some of these technologies.
Well, I know I've just read recent articles about the pollution levels that Indiana lays claim to, and it is frustrating. And I'm going to the example that I'm going to use for this last technology, in a small way, addresses pollution issues because the Alta Systems balloon is an aerial observation where you don't. I think everybody now is thinking drones for observation. A drone is a useful tool. However, a drone can only be operated pretty much within eyeshot of the operator. It's fairly difficult. There are licensing issues through the FAA that one has to be mindful of, and probably more importantly, it has to be landed every 30 to 45 minutes to change out batteries. With the Alta System balloon, it's a smart balloon. Okay. It's just a lighter than air device. It's a big balloon. That's no other way to describe it. With a camera system suspended underneath, it's tethered and stays under a 400-foot, basically a 400-foot limit, which is an FAA issue, and it can remain aloft and monitoring an area for up to 8 hours at a time. So you don't have. If you have, for instance, a search for someone, the lakeshore is a perfect opportunity for this because it can monitor activity on the beach. It can focus in as close as following an individual, if need be, on the beach. And it's all commanded from the ground. And it is all geolocated so that if there's a wind and it changes the direction of the balloon, the camera will still remain on that same focal point. So it's very cool stuff. And here again, it can be very green in so much as police departments now use helicopters quite a bit. Right. Helicopters, boats. And instead of putting a tremendous field force out there in fuel burning equipment, put an Alta balloon in the air, and you can monitor a huge area for an extended period of time. You also have infrared camera capabilities on the balloon, so you can do it day, night, and it's a tremendous search tool.
Man, it sounds just fascinating. And so, as we come to the end of our show here, David, September 16th, you're going to be talking about these technologies. Bring us through the day. So what do you see this day? And again, is there any cost for people to participate in this event?
No, not at all. And I'm not going to be talking so much as just, again, my role as a facilitator. These technologies are going to converge here for the first time. And I really want to thank Ivy Tech for allowing us the opportunity to bring folks together because we want to expose their criminal justice students to this technology as well, because they're the ones that are actually going to have a greater use because these are going to be established by the time they get into the business.
Absolutely.
But you're going to be represented. You're going to have some clean burning squad cars.
Yes, exactly. Emergency response vehicles that run on alternative fuels.
Sure. And we're just kind of taking over the campus, so to speak, for the afternoon. We plan on setting up at about 9 o'clock in the morning. The exhibitors are going to be there from virtually about 10 to maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. We'll have auditorium seating so that folks can hear presentations from specific companies one at a time, a little more expanded than what they're going to be able to perhaps do at their tables, which are going to fill the lobby area, the atrium at the Valpo campus.
And again, I think for people to register, how would they register for this?
The easiest thing for people to do is to contact me specifically, Dave Lain, and if they want to call me, they can feel free to do so on my business line. It's area code 219-263-3018, or even better, because I may take a message and then forget, even better is to contact me through email, and that's dave@sherifflane.com.
Wonderful. And again, this will be posted on the South Shore Clean Cities website if people would like to attend this event. We look forward to seeing everybody that's interested in security in northern Indiana. So a great thing. Any closing thoughts, David?
No, I do appreciate the exposure for this event because literally anyone listening to this can benefit from at least one of these security solutions.
Absolutely sounds like it. And again, we thank you for your years of service and protecting us, and nothing but best wishes for your future. And thank you for all that you're doing with this technology, because to me, it's just fascinating. And it just, again, looking into the future as we bring new technologies, this is, economic development. It's opportunities for us to continue to move into the 21st century. So it's very exciting. So thank you again, David. And that will do it for today's edition of the Green Radio Network. I'm your host, Carl Lissick. Thanks again to our guest, Mr. David Lain, CEO of David Lain Consulting. And be sure to join us again on WIMS Radio and Girard Media for the next edition of the Green Radio Network. And visit us online at southshorecleancities.org.